Hi, thanks for stopping by. I'm so excited you're here. Today we're making oatmeal raisin cookies, gluten and dairy-free. They are my absolute favorite cookie. I could just sit down and eat an entire batch, but I don't, but I might. There's always the possibility. So let's jump right in. One of the things that makes this cookie so good is part of the process, and that is creaming the sugar and the butter, which we're using Earth Balance, together before you mix in all the other ingredients. So that's what we're going to do first. I've got brown sugar and white sugar here going into my stand mixer, which is has a paddle attachment on. And now I'm going to get the butter, which came out of the tub. You can do sticks or tubs of the Earth Balance. And because it came out of the tub, I just went through it with my hands and kind of broke it up so it was in smaller pieces, so it wasn't one big chunk of butter, which would not be very good in this recipe. So I'm going to turn it on just to combine. Well, first I'm going to lift my bowl. I'm going to let it get combined, and then I'm going to turn it up to about 4, let it go for about a minute or two, and I'm looking for a certain consistency. When I get there, I'll show you what it is. The butter and sugar is creamed quite nicely. It's a beautiful, creamy, almost looks like frosting. It's going to be a bit of a grittier looking frosting, which is fine because we have all that sugar. We're not beating it enough that we're going to get the grit out. So this is absolutely perfect. I will tell you, as you're doing this, there's going to be this point where all of the ingredients are going to kind of clump up, and you might have this fear that, oh my God, it's going wrong, but just let it go, and then it'll start spreading around the bowl and looking the way it should look. So now I'm going to add the eggs and the vanilla, and we're not going to be beating this. We're really just going to combine this. Let me put my thing up. You definitely want to get your eggs completely broken and mixed together, so I'm going to go up. So one thing I do want to do is get a spatula in here and take all the creamed sugar and butter and put it in the middle, which I probably should have done before I put the egg in, my bad. But we're not at the point of no return at all. I would say that's very nicely combined. So now we're going to add the dry ingredients. Now I have everything in here. First I measured out the flours, put them in a bowl, then I added the oats, and then I added the cinnamon, the xanthan gum, the baking soda, and also the raisins. So I'm going to add this in very slowly. And here we want to combine, not beat. I added a little bit, and I'm going to let it start to combine. Now slowly add some more. It's getting there. And we are all in. I'm going to turn it up just to get it better combined. I've got the cookie dough in my bowl. It looks beautiful. Just going through here, looking, make sure everything's mixed well. Everything does look very nicely mixed. It's going to be a very thick dough. Don't be expecting anything too thin. So what I'm going to do is make about 6 cookies. I don't like to bake the entire batch at one time, because then I feel like I have to eat them all. What I do love to do is have a few now and have dough balls in the freezer for later. The dough balls, you can pull just one out, put it in a toaster oven or even the big oven. You have a cookie in like 15 minutes. It's so wonderful. So I have about a 2-ounce scoop here. And so I'm going to scoop them out. That's a little big. Give them a little space in between. And you can make bigger cookies if you want. They're probably going to have to bake longer, but I like this size. I think it makes a really good cookie. And last one. Okay. I'm going to get those in a 350-degree oven for about 15 minutes. I'll probably check them at around 10 minutes. And while they're in the oven, I'm going to scoop the rest of these onto a smaller sheet pan, get them in the freezer, and then when they're set and they're hard enough, I'm going to put them in a bag and then back in the freezer. Okay, they've been cooking for about 15 minutes. Ooh, they look perfect. perfect. Look at that. Okay. I am going to let them cool and then I am going to eat one. Now the time that I've been waiting for since I started, it's time to eat a cookie. Oh, they smell so, so good. Look at that gooey, gooey deliciousness. They're crispy on the outside and they're going to be oh so chewy on the inside. Okay, I'm not going to wait any longer. I'm going. Mmm. Mmm. They're so decadent. Oh, I just can't. I just have no words. They're amazing. Now for these cookies, my recipe calls for light brown sugar. Yet today, I didn't have any light brown sugar. I had dark brown sugar. I was a little hesitant to try that, but I said, you know, it might be a happy accident. So I can now tell you that if you want an even deeper molasses brown sugar flavor, and you would like your cookies to be even denser than oatmeal raisins are, use the dark brown sugar. It does work. It gives it a little bit different flavor and a little bit different texture. I think after having it both ways, I prefer the light brown sugar, but you never know. Try it with the dark. You may like it. Okay, before I go, I want to address my dough balls, which have been in the freezer, and they're solid enough that I'm going to take a gallon bag and put them in here and then store them in the freezer. And then when I want a cookie, I just take it out of the bag and cook it, like I said, in the toaster oven or the big oven. You may be one cookie, it may be 6 cookies that you want to bake, and they bake exactly the same way as if you just took them out of the bowl after you just mixed them. So I am going to have quite a few cookies in the future. This made 26 cookies. You may get fewer if you do a bigger cookie, which is totally fine. So I have another half a cookie here. I got to go. I got to eat it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. A link to the full recipe is in the description below, and you can find this recipe as well as many, many more at gfexplorers.com. And until next time, happy eating.